Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Monday Night Football on EA Sports. Up next, we've got a good one on tap.
A little jet sweep to start the drive. And that is the kind of tackling they want to see all game, as he'll lose yardage to start things out. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Watch the safety creep.
Out of the gun, Watson. The pass complete to Hakeem Butler. They'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
Johnson. Yeah, boy, from up here, I don't think Johnson got there. No, he did not. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. Well, so much for picking it up on the ground on 3rd down. 3rd play of the drive, and this defense showing strong early.
I wonder how much of that was scouting. I wonder how much of that was a gut feeling like, okay, let's just go ahead and sell out here and get after them, thinking they're going to run the football.
Now a hit and a loose football. And the Texans scoop it. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line.
And that's what friends are for.
As the returner, you know who you're buying dinner for later.
Oh, without a doubt, because he just took care of you and your team in a big way. You know, you turned it over there. That's a big momentum changer and put your defense in a bad spot.
So they need to determine if that knee was down before the ball was coughed up.
And they also wanted to make sure that the ball was possessed as they were going through, that the ball wasn't working its way free before the knee hit the ground.
Yeah, baby. That's our ball. Our ball.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
Down. HG Gator. Black spot forward. Ready?
First carry for James Conner. And he's going to be stopped here on this first play as he gets it to the line of scrimmage and no more. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
That's what I do. Get it.
To throw on 2nd down. Harris. He'll find Juju Smith-Schuster. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. The Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
1st and 10 at the 38.
Operating from the gun. Harris finds his running back, James Conner. The Steelers picking up 15 yards there on a 1st down.
Nice little nifty play for him there. Yeah, that's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backs out of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got everybody cut. Oh, he just snuck out there, and they just got a nice 1st down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? And they were able to do that there. Nice pickup on 1st down. A gain of 10, good for a Steeler 1st down.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. 12 yards that time at a Pittsburgh 1st. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you go make a play on the football.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, Connor looking for space. They'll be brought down at the 21 after a pickup of 4.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Seventh play of the drive upcoming here on 3rd and 6. To throw is Harris. From the gun, he'll throw. Accelerating, and off he goes. The 40, past the 20. And they will score a pick-6 for the Texans TD. They were in the dime. They had 6 defensive backs there, so go ahead and throw it. He threw it, and it hurt him.
It's almost thrown into a blanket of coverage, isn't it? You talk about the best defenders you have are the defensive backs. 6 of them on the field. You're almost asking for trouble, and that's exactly what they ran into. Ended up throwing a pick-6.
Yeah, 6 defenders and 6 points. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. This fielded at the 2. Now a hit and a loose football. And a terrific return as he takes this thing all the way down near the 20-yard line. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. They'll run it with Johnson. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. This will be a loss of 3. Much tougher 3rd down looming.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Defense.
That hold coming from the left side of the line.
Hands got caught in the cookie jar on that one, and the flag came out. Penalty against them.
So now they assess a 3rd and long, and that holding call might have knocked him out of field goal range, at least for the moment. Back to throw. Thurston. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
I don't think this will even, nope, it doesn't even get there. Well short, and this score will stay right where it is.
Always disappointing when you miss a field goal, but when you're playing against a defense this good, you and I both know that's a crucial miss because you can't afford to leave any points out there. You've got to take them when you can.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can try to have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. Now this throw complete to Washington. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. The Steelers able to pick up 18 yards there. Here's Harris on first down. He'll get this one to Switzer. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. On the counter, it's Connor. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. On EA Sports.
Ready? 60-yard. Here we go. Let's bring it. Let's go. Let's bring it. Let's bring it. Ready.
On 2nd down now. It's Connor. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, people say bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Harris operating from the gun. Washington's got it. And a pretty nice tackle there, ranging up from his free safety spot as he'll stop him about a yard short.
I think a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker, and you've got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest worry, ball gets tipped in the air, because if that happens, then it's fair game for the defense.
And no move to get the offense off the field. They'll stay put on 4th and 1. Now Harris throwing on 4th down. That is caught. It's Juju for the Steeler touchdown. Juju Smith-Schuster with touchdown number 7 on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself, no reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Extra point right down the middle, and we are tied at 7. So the drive there took 6 plays, and it ends with the Steelers finding the end zone. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And here comes the Texans now.
And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. 2nd and 13. And his throw is going to be incomplete. The intended target, the tight end, Austin Seferian-Jenkins. And it's 3rd down. By the way, I got to apologize because I just realized for about the last 4 or 5 plays, I'm eking over into your territory up here in the booth. My bad. I'm going to get back over to my spot.
Yeah, we're not talking about our on-air commentary. I mean, what is all this extra paper? I mean, this is unusual for you.
My bad.
Normally you run a really tight ship. What's going on here?
Just like that incomplete pass, I'm going to try to tighten things up here for this next play. And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. Problems on third down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on third down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to third down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on first and second down.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown, and now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
The drive will start with Connor. And an alley to run. Now it appears we have a Steeler here slow to get up. We'll check on his status when we get back. A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3.
Go, go, go.
Harris now off the bootleg. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's third down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Trying to run for it with Snell. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 12 yards that time at a Pittsburgh first.
That's quite a spot there for his first carry of the game, but obviously they had plenty of faith in him, didn't they?
No question about it. And here, why not go with the fresh legs? Able to push forward, pick up that first. Throwing on first down. Harris. And it's complete. He gets this one to Washington. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line. Just shy of the 20. A good pickup there. 26 yards.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
I enjoyed watching Robert Quinn in pregame warm-ups with you down on the field. Did it surprise you how tall and angular he is? You wouldn't think he'd be able to play against the run that well, would you?
But he can, and he showed it right there, didn't he?
That's that wrestling background he has. He understands leverage as well as anyone in the game. A big-time wrestler in high school. He didn't lose very often.
3-time heavyweight state champ in South Carolina. He'll get it inside the red zone, but only for a couple down to the 19.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. The Steelers on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. From the gun, Harris. And that is incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
And his kick is good. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
DeAndre Hopkins and the rest of the offense heading back onto the field. With them losing here in the second quarter and his limited productivity so far, you'd have to think they're going to try to look to him a little bit more, right?
I would guess you would start to see maybe some quick screens, some hitches, anything to get the ball in his hands quickly and let him try and do some damage after the catch. Or maybe just flip some formations and keep him isolated where it's more of a one-on-one route and get the ball to him.
I said just 4 verts, right?
Hey, why not? 4 verts. One of the best routes in football. Hard to cover each guy all the way along the route.
So far, just 1 catch for him. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
They completed the screen on the perimeter, but boy, that was textbook defense, exactly as you're taught to play against a wide receiver screen, and they snuffed it out for a loss of yardage.
To throw on third down. Thurston, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. T.J. Watt coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it also brings up fourth. The Texans send the punter out as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. 2 minutes remaining in the first half, 10-7, our score. A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now, we'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Here again comes the captain of this offense, leading his crew back out there now. He's got the lead here in the second quarter. He's thrown the touchdown, but also an interception. As a quarterback, does that interception, even though you're playing well, your team's got the lead, does that always stick in the back of your mind a little bit?
For the best ones, it just upsets them that they did that because they don't think there should be any blemishes on their record. They think that they're way better than that. So your confidence gets tested a little bit. Being able to go back out there, maybe throw another touchdown, that'll tamp that down in a big way.
Yeah, because he's looked pretty good to this point. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. To throw is Harris. Throwing again. Got an open man. It's Washington. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 12 yards that time, and a Pittsburgh first.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Looking to throw. Harris. Looking left sideline. Incomplete.
I think they've got to go somewhere else with the football. They've got to bracket it out there in double coverage. Makes it hard to fit it in time after time.
It would have had to have been an absolutely perfect pass and not good enough. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Here we go. Here we go. Get it.
Here's Harris. Going to throw again. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they did incompletions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on 3rd.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
This is away and a very good kick, angled for the sidelines. Out of bounds and close. The question, was it a touchback? No. They'll say it crossed out at the 2-yard line. Excellent placement, and off that bounce, Charles, I didn't know where it was going to go. It can be an inexact science as to where they place it, but they say the 2-yard line.
Yeah, I don't know how they really determined that. And let's face it, at the end of that play, one side's going to be happy, the other team's going to be unhappy. It's like, what do they do, shorten the hypotenuse? I mean, how do they figure that out? You know that stuff. You're the smart guy.
Oh, that's you, partner. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half.
Go. 60 outlaw. You get block me. Ready.
On first down, Thurston. Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Off the draw, here's Johnson. And this is going to double their room to maneuver, able to get it from the 5 to the 10-yard line. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts, as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
70, Indy. Keep it up, defense. Keep it up, guys.
On third down, Johnson. And he'll only get this to the 17, well shy of what he needed. Now the Steelers use the second of their 3 timeouts, as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. The Texans send the punter out, standing just outside his own goal line. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. Switzer on the return. That'll be a 44-yard boot, just a yard on the return as he's covered up quickly. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. James Washington making his way back out towards the huddle. He's doing what he's capable of, having a solid game. Not the most amazing game. He's not over 100 yards, but a good game so far.
And you just know that mentally, he feels like he's one catch away from turning it into a great game and starting on that road. And the defenders are well aware of that, too. They've got to figure out a way to not let that escalate. Keep him right in this zone here and call it a day, because otherwise he can really decimate them.
Better believe they are well aware of his playmaking ability. They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10.
Let's set a tone, fellas. Let's set a tone.
Harris to throw again. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down. The last catch nearly got him the first, but it did not, and they'll try to convert on 3rd and inches. That's complete to his running back, Connor. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. And unless this is a quick incompletion, this is likely the last play here of this first half. Now Harris. A final shot before break. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down. So we've hit halftime. Just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll get started down at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami, where you see the final score there. Andrew Luck leading the way in the victory with 3 touchdown passes. From there, we take the long trip across the country, about as far as you can go. Check on the Seahawks in Seattle. And they were victorious in that one over the visiting L.A. Rams. 14-10, the final. Lastly, let's get to the Windy City. See what's happening with the Bears at home at Soldier Field. And they were winners in that one over the visiting Raiders. Tariq Cohen, a touchdown run in the victory. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a defensive struggle. Which offense can break through in the second half? To find out, let's hand it over to our broadcast team of Brandon Gotten and Charles Davis.
So time for the second half as the Steelers have the lead, and they will also be receiving the football here to start the 3rd quarter. This is taken at the 3. And he'll get it up just past the 20, and his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the 3rd quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the 3rd quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit.
Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. He's picked off at his own 46. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd and 12.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Again, it's Johnson. Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
Stephon Tuitt came out of Notre Dame as another one of those really tall defensive ends, and you just wonder, would they be able to have the leverage to bend and make plays? I think he just gave us an answer with that tackle.
It's complete to Hopkins. And they'll hustle up to stop him well shy of the first, right around the 15. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
And his kick is good. And that will knot us up at 10. So he missed that field goal earlier, but he says not this time. Able to knock it through.
His poise, I like his confidence, his belief in himself. Sometimes when you miss that first one, you see a lot of guys sag and they can't make the next one. Not in this case. Stepped right up like a pro.
This is taken at his 4. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe it'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Now a pass that's taken in by Smith-Schuster. 22 yards there, a first down. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. How about the defensive effort from both of these teams that we've seen in this game?
Would you say it's like a high-stakes chess match right now?
Chess is one way to go. Yeah, I like it.
Okay, the only reason I say that, you feel like they're contemplating their moves before actually making one, and none of them being done very confidently.
Truth be told, I've never played chess, and I know that I'm not smart enough to play chess. Guys like you with your IQ, you can pull that off. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. It's Clinton Dix with a pick. And they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they're throwing an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
And now a big play to start off this drive as the shot downfield is complete. Give him 30 yards there. Charles, you talk so much about quick change plays. There's one right there. You get the turnover and boom, hit him with a big one.
And defenses plan for this all the time. They work on it in practice. But in the middle of a game, when that quick change takes place, oftentimes guys aren't as focused as they need to be.
Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
And he's able to get more than half of what they needed. That brings up a 3rd and 5.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Operating from the gun. Thurston, nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And his kick is absolutely perfect. And they will take the lead at 13-10. So as it turns out, that sack doesn't wind up costing them, Charles. They at least get points, get 3 of them.
Yeah, that's where your kicker can really come to your rescue because, after the sack, there was a little consternation there. Are we out of field goal range? Are we going to be able to get 3? In this case, he stepped right up and gave them exactly what they needed.
And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first. On that last run, he's now hit the 6,000-yard mark for rushing yards in his career.
And moves him squarely into the top 100 rushers of all time. In fact, he can boast that he's rushed for over 1,000 yards more than Gale Sayers did in his career. And Gale Sayers was a Hall of Famer in a short career.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
2nd and 9 now. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Clinton Dix making the safety blitz look easy. Zooms in for the sack.
Push him back. Push him back.
Harris now throwing on 3rd and long. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
And we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Here's Matt Weil now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. There, this punt will go out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25, and it will. Right at the 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. So here are the Texans to take over. They got the victory last week. That was against Jacksonville, and they lead this one as well right now. Out in front here, they've got it 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Thurston. And the catch made by Johnson. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And that's going to make it 2nd and 14. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
6 yards on the pickup, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Texans on third down. They're struggling. 0 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Back to throw. Thurston going deep for high. It got his man complete. A gain of 37.
I don't think we'll ever get enough of watching one-handed catches, and when they pay off, they are spectacular. But how about the times they don't pay off? And coaches go, two hands still works.
I know, but they go for them so often now that I'm almost starting to take them for granted.
Yeah, that's unbelievable, isn't it? Because these are sensational type plays.
Especially that one with a defender right there. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. Give them 17 on the pickup there. The Texans also get a new set of downs. Some pretty good games all weekend. We may have saved the best for last. This Monday night game has been a dandy. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And to the tight end here, Safarian Jenkins. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. So 5 plays on this drive, Charles. All passes, all completions. And just like that, they're in the red zone.
And don't you think the playbook opens up a little bit more now? Because all they've done is throw the football. If you want to run it now, you may very well have them fooled.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
I think you saw the same thing that I did there, partner. Remember, he's their backup quarterback, so the last thing they need is to lose another one right here on the sack. Looks like he's going to be okay, though.
Yeah, he looked like he was favoring something in the left leg. Appears to be fine now, but you're right. That O-line, they got to protect it. Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. So decision time now, because a field goal keeps it a one-score game. What are you thinking?
Well, I'm looking at the down and distance, and that's where the issue comes in. It's not short enough that it's a no-brainer and you go for it. You have to analyze this one. To me, you take the field goal, take the points. I don't think you want to risk coming away with nothing.
So they get to 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they get the distance, but in short yardage, trying to pick up first downs, that big guy, always a nice luxury to have, isn't he?
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Open man is Switzer, complete. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. Here's Counter, and only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Juju Smith-Schuster, his second touchdown of the night. And now they can recapture the lead if they can make the PAT.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? You know, 1 by land, 2 by sea. He didn't mention air because right now we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
And, you know, every now and then I actually listened in history class.
And you're just a scholar all the way around. You're reading all the time. I like that you fit that into the broadcast.
You know, I just grab the nugget when I can.
Extra point splits the uprights, and they have taken the lead here in this fourth quarter. So this drive spans 7 plays, and it ends with a Pittsburgh touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick.
The hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down. T.J. Watt in there yet again. What else is new? He continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks.
My man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. 27 yards there, a first down.
First down, Texans.
Watch tight end. 3 down.
Fourth quarter, 2 minutes on the clock in a tight 1-point game. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. He's back to throw. The Pro Bowler DeAndre Hopkins, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up 2nd down. He has had a great game defensively. He's been east-west, north-south, everywhere.
Yeah, and I love how you described that, because to be a great defender, you have to be able to move up and back, sideline to sideline, and he's been fantastic.
And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
Come on, set. 60 Pittsburgh.
Back to throw. And this is going to be incomplete. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
Oh, nice move. And this is going to come up well short as they stop him on 4th down. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Steelers, they're going to take over an excellent field position. So now let's reset here, Charles. They do have 2 timeouts left, so they can stop the clock twice. This one's not quite over yet.
No, and what you're doing on defense, you're going to use both timeouts, obviously. But you've got to call defenses are going to force the issue early, meaning you want that play over fast. You don't want to give them time to dance around in the backfield or run a wide sweep that'll take off time. Blitz them, put pressure on them, make sure that play ends quickly so that you can go ahead and keep moving.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. They stay on the ground. Here's Connor again. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line.
Nice hit, boy. Here we go. Ain't too soft. 54.
To throw is Harris. To throw on 3rd down. And that will be incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And now it's the punter Weil on as he sends this one away.
Let's go old school there. That's absolutely a great coffin corner punt. Someone's put some time in working on that, hasn't it?
Seems like every year these guys get better and better. It's amazing how they can command that football through the air.
Yeah, they used to actually practice with hula hoops where they place them and try and put them there. Now a lot of guys use barrels on the sidelines to try and put the football in one.
They'll get a couple yards on that one, and that'll make it a second down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. This is Johnson. He's got it. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25. He'll look to throw. And his throw here's incomplete. He was trying to get that one to Kenny Stills. And now it's second down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Back to throw. Dumping it off for Johnson. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. And they're left looking at 3rd and 8 after the second down pass play only went for 2. And he finds Safarian Jenkins. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, you're wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for the Steelers, the win will move them to 7-2 now on the year. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Indianapolis Colts. Meanwhile, for Houston, they'll lose an important one here as that drops them to 5-4 on the season. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.